What lawful basis was there for you to ask for her ID?
I don't know.
In order to detain somebody, what do you have to have legally? Do you know?
I do not know the law legally.
Okay. Doesn't there have to be reasonable suspicion that the person committed a criminal offense or violated a law?
Because I don't know the law exactly.
You don't know when an officer is allowed to detain somebody?
Estos son la sargento Jennifer Larson y el teniente Donald Milazzo, oficiales de policía con un servicio de más de 20 años, y están declarando por incautación y detención ilegal a una mujer llamada Samantha, conocida en YouTube como Pink Camera Magic, por estar grabando el exterior del edificio del Tribunal del Condado de Cook.
Hey, ma'am, you know this is a public building?
Exactly, that's why I'm recording it.
It's also a court facility?
Yep.
Which there is a judicial law or judicial order that says that you cannot tape this building.
Can I see that order?
Yes, come on in. We're going to check your IDs too.
Oh, no, I'm not going in.
Oh, yeah, no. We're going to run you too.
No, that's all
We're going
right.
to get your name. We're going to do a report and everything. So come on in.
No.
No, yeah, you're going to come in now.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
For what?
Because right now you are doing something suspicious.
That's not a reason to detain anybody.
Well, it is for Dana. Come on.
It's really not.
Let's go
so
inside
I'm just going
now.
to stay here and continue recording.
Okay. You're going to come in and we're going to find out who you are and what you're doing here.
No, you're not.
Okay. All right, who's got cuffs? She does not want to go agreeably.
La historia comienza cuando el teniente Milazzo se acerca a Samantha y le dice que no puede filmar un edificio público y que eso es motivo suficiente para detenerla, además de no facilitarle su documento de identidad. Pero lo que Milazzo no sabe es que él mismo está actuando de forma ilegal, porque es totalmente legal hacer fotografías o filmar en lugares públicos, en cualquier estado, salvo que se estén registrando conversaciones orales, lo cual no es el caso.
Okay.
I'm being detained for just taking pictures of the building.
Yes, ma'am. You're doing something suspicious and we need to know who you are and why you're doing it. Okay?
Are you familiar with the First Amendment?
Yes. I am.
Really?
Let's go in. Come on.
Wow.
I tried to do this nicely. You are aware of Homeland Security, right?
Después de darse cuenta en múltiples ocasiones de que Samantha le estaba filmando con su cámara, Milazzo finalmente decidió arrebatársela por la fuerza. Luego la arresta y entran en el edificio.
Okay, call your lawyer.
That includes my camera as far as consent.
Well, it's already on.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
Oh, great. Why do we always get the crazies?
I don't know.
La segunda persona en escena, la que lleva una cámara corporal, es la sargento Jennifer Larson. Tanto ella como el teniente Milazzo no parecen darse cuenta de que lo que están haciendo traspasa absolutamente los límites de la legalidad. Samantha lo sabe, y por eso se niega una vez más a proporcionar su identificación, al mismo tiempo que observa al teniente Milazzo haciendo algo turbio con su cámara.
Did you delete my footage?
Do you want to cooperate or not?
I'm remaining silent.
It is only making it worse. Do you want to give us an ID?
I'm remaining silent. I don't consent to searches.
We're not going to search you. We're asking for an ID.
Por si fuera poco, los agentes se burlan de ella por acogerse a su derecho de permanecer en silencio.
What the f*** is going on today?
I don't know.
Every crazy loon in the building is coming. All we're asking is an ID.
We're asking for an ID.
We'll do a report. You can go on your way with your camera. Otherwise, I'm going to confiscate the camera and we're going to take it downstairs
For what crime?
and print you. Because you're suspicious.
I'm remaining silent.
Viendo que Samantha no coopera, los agentes deciden darle un ultimátum para intentar resolver la situación.
Okay, this is your choice. You can either give us an ID so that we could do a report on this and find out who you are, or we're going to take you in front of the presiding judge. He's going to hold you in contempt, which means that he can hold you for as long as he wants.
I'm remaining silent.
Okay, let's do it.
Pasaron 10 minutos hasta que el teniente Milazzo volvió por fin con noticias. O, mejor dicho, amenazas contra Samantha, quien, como todo el mundo debería hacer, se limitó a permanecer en silencio.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to probably take her in front of the judge.
Okay.
He's going to hold her in contempt for, I think right now he's doing 90 days.
Okay.
So, that's okay with you?
Remaining silent.
Okay, but you realize you're going to go to Cook County Jail for 90 days.
Remaining silent.
Okay?
Okay.
Now you have an option. All you have to do is show us an ID so that we can do a report, and we'll let you go on your way.
I have an option?
Yeah.
We told you that before.
Because right now you're just obstructing and you're in contempt.
Obstructing what?
You're obstructing us from doing our job.
I'm remaining silent.
All right, cuff her. Let's get her purse.
Ken.
Get her stuff.
I don't consent to searches.
Well, we don't care anymore.
Samantha fue finalmente esposada y arrestada por obstrucción para luego ser liberada sin cargos. Pero lo que los agentes no sabían es que no solo cometieron un acto ilegal, sino varias negligencias en el cumplimiento del deber, como arresto ilegal con intimidación o destrucción de la propiedad privada. Poco después, Samantha pudo contratar a uno de los mejores abogados del país y demandó al condado de Cook por múltiples violaciones de los derechos civiles. El caso lleva abierto varios años y su resolución no se conoce todavía, pero podemos conocer una parte del proceso gracias a que tenemos la siguiente filmación, en la que tanto el teniente Milazzo como la sargento Jennifer Larson prestan declaración de todo lo sucedido. Lo que aparece en las siguientes imágenes es una de las pruebas más contundentes e impactantes de ineptitud y desconocimiento de la ley en la historia de la policía.
Is it against the law to take pictures of a courthouse from outside?
No, not that I know.
Okay. Is it lawful to arrest somebody for taking pictures outside of the courthouse?
No, not that I know.
Okay. Is there something
Keep your voice up, please.
Okay, sorry.
So I gotta get every word because it's on video.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this case at all?
Which case?
The case that brings us here today, that you're testifying in?
Yes.
Okay, and in a nutshell, what's the case about?
I would say that Amanda is, I guess I called you to say that she was outside videoing when she shouldn't have been. So she's saying we violated her amendment rights.
You're correct. When you say when she shouldn't have been, what does that mean? Was she doing something wrong?
Just something unusual, what us as officers would consider unusual.
Unusual, okay.
La sargento Jennifer demuestra tener un conocimiento nulo de la ley, por lo que el abogado de Samantha decide dejarla aún más en evidencia.
Depending on where you are in the country, Mormons are unusual, right? Depending on where you are, it might be unusual to see a Mormon. Do you get to detain Mormons in those places?
I don't know if people detain Mormons.
You don't have to speak.
I don't know if they detain Mormons.
Would it be lawful? Just because it's unusual?
No, I don't.
Okay. Is there something unlawful about recording outside of a building?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Let me ask you this. Was Miss doing anything illegal when she was detained?
No, I would say it was not illegal, unusual.
Hablando de cosas insólitas, la afirmación que sigue es algo que un agente de policía ni siquiera debería estar autorizado a decir.
In order to detain somebody, what do you have to have legally? Do you know?
I do not know the law legally.
Y por si acaso crees que al menos el teniente Milazzo sí sabía lo que hacía, te equivocas.
What would you do if one of those people said to you, what's the difference between arrest and detain? What would your answer be?
We'd call legal.
Mr. Gorman, seated to your left?
No. Sheriff has their own legal.
Oh, okay. Their own legal who helps them understand things like the difference between arrest and detain?
Yes.
Gotcha. Was there a lawful basis to handcuff her?
Yes.
Okay, and what was that lawful basis?
Officer safety.
El teniente Milazzo acaba de confirmar que no sabe la diferencia entre un arresto y una detención, y que cuando no tienen claro qué hacer, llaman al abogado del cuerpo policial para que les ayude. Pero la pregunta es, ¿cómo puede alguien trabajar 27 años como oficial de policía y no conocer la ley?
Did you have any reasonable suspicion that she was committing a crime?
We had reasonable suspicion to ask her what she was doing and why she was doing it, just to get who she was and why.
You and I agree on that you had the right to ask her whatever you wanted to ask her. Did you have the right to put her in handcuffs?
Officer safety.
For the security of the officers, yes.
Okay. What made her a threat?
her refusing to give any information that was requested of her.
Was she legally obligated to give that information?
When an officer has asked her for security purposes to give her identity up, yes, we do have the right to ask for an identity of somebody for our safety.
20 años de servicio, y la sargento Larson cree que uno es sospechoso mientras no proporcione su nombre. No es el tipo de policía que me gustaría encontrar si estoy siendo detenido.
Have you ever heard of something called a Terry search or a Terry frisk?
I have.
Okay, what is that?
I'm not going to say exactly. I don't know the law.
Okay.
Al ver que ella no tiene ni idea de nada relacionado con la ley, el abogado de Samantha decide inventar un escenario hipotético para demostrar lo erróneo que fue el arresto.
A police officer goes over to somebody on the street. Let's call the person Mr. Plaintiff.
Okay.
Police officer goes to Mr. Plaintiff and says, hey, let me see your ID. And Mr. Plaintiff says, no. Is the officer now allowed to put Mr. Plaintiff in handcuffs and detain him?
I'm going to object. It's a hypothetical. It calls for speculation.
Yeah.
You can answer.
Okay. I do believe, yes, for officer safety, they do have the right.
Doesn't there have to be reasonable suspicion that the person committed a criminal offense or violated a law?
As I don't know the law exactly.
Al menos hasta ahora, hemos podido ver cómo Jennifer asume su responsabilidad y acepta que no conoce la ley, al contrario que su teniente, que prefiere fingir que no entiende ninguna de las preguntas que le hace el abogado y se burla de la situación.
If you could go back in time to the day that you arrested her, would you still arrest her?
So you're asking me if I can go back in time?
Yeah.
I don't know how I could do that.
Okay. Did you understand my question?
I did, and you're asking me to suppose whether or not I can go back in time. I can't.
So you can't tell me if you would still arrest her?
I can't tell you what would happen on that day if I went back in time, no.
Okay. Is this an attempt to be funny?
Not a bit.
Are you trying to answer my questions?
I'm trying to answer your question.
You really can't figure this out because you can't wrap your head around time travel. That's what you're saying?
Object. Again, I'm going to object. It's getting to be harassing again. Is this what the question is? Hypothetical time travel backwards?
Is that really how you interpreted the question also?
Is that what you're asking? If he could go back in time, would he do it differently? Is that not what you're asking?
Yeah, that is what I asked him.
Volviendo a la sargento Jennifer, el interrogatorio continúa y, según transcurre el tiempo, sus respuestas no mejoran en nada la situación.
Is there any reasonable suspicion that she was committing a crime, yes or no?
We weren't sure what she was doing.
Okay, so if you don't know what somebody's doing, do you have reasonable suspicion that they're doing anything in particular?
No, but we have a reasonable response to ask what she was doing.
Right. Agreed. You could ask her what she's doing. And when she refuses to answer, are you now allowed to detain her?
Yes.
Who told you this? That you get to detain people who are videoing and refuse to identify themselves when asked?
Esta es la cara de alguien cuya irresponsabilidad queda en evidencia, y es humillada por sus acciones ilícitas cuando siempre se negó a admitir que actuó mal. Todo lo ocurrido fue capturado por la cámara y llegados a este punto, la situación está clara como el agua. Pero esto no ha terminado para el teniente Milazzo, quien, al contrario que la sargento Larson, no está dispuesto a caer sin luchar.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment, by the way?
Vaguely.
What does it say in your own vague terms?
No illegal search and seizure.
All right, unless there's
Probable cause.
or
Okay. That's about all I know.
okay, all right, good enough. He said that's about all I know. All right. Now there was somebody else who asked you the same question that I just asked you about your familiarity with the Fourth Amendment. Who's in this room right now? Do you know who that person was? My client. Ms. asked you that, didn't she?
I don't recall.
She asked you, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment? You don't remember that?
No.
El teniente Milazzo admite no recordar ni el lugar de los hechos, ni quién le preguntó entonces, cuando en realidad todos sabemos que fue Samantha. Se está haciendo el tonto, pero todo quedó grabado, tal como vimos.
A lawyer.
Okay, call your lawyer.
That includes my camera as far as consent.
Well, it's already on.
Are you
So
familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
Oh, great. Why do we always get the crazies?
I don't know.
Después de recordarle el incidente, el abogado menciona el comentario ofensivo que le hizo a Samantha en aquel entonces.
If I tell you that your answer was, oh great, why do we always get the crazies, would you dispute that?
No.
Does that sound like something you would say to somebody?
That's something I did say that day, yes.
So you remember saying that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember saying that in response to the question, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment?
No, I just remember saying it.
Why is it that you felt she was one of the crazies?
When people act in a way that is not in their best interest.
How was she acting that was not in her best interest?
Well, at any time, all she had to do is identify herself. We could have done our report. You have an option. All you have to do is show us an ID so that we could do a report, and we'll let you go on your way. And everything could have gone the own.
And if somebody were to threaten you that unless you comply with their demands, they're going to put you in handcuffs, would you automatically necessarily comply with their demands?
Yes.
No object.
You would.
Calls for speculation.
He was able to answer. So you would. So even if there's somebody who is acting as a law enforcement officer, giving you an unlawful order, threatening you with detainment or arrest or 90 days jail, if you don't comply with their unlawful demands, you would still comply?
Yes.
Alrighty. Is that what you expected her to do, to comply?
Yes.
Tras haber escuchado en múltiples ocasiones que cualquier persona se tiene que identificar cuando un agente de policía se lo pida, el abogado decide interrogar al teniente Milazzo para profundizar en este asunto.
Is there a law that requires people to identify themselves when requested by law enforcement?
I don't know.
Y cuando se le pregunta si eliminó los archivos de la cámara confiscada, lo niega rotundamente, a pesar de que todo quedó registrado por la cámara corporal que la sargento tenía en ese momento.
Did you delete her pictures?
No.
Who did?
Don't know.
You don't know who deleted her pictures?
No.
By the time you got in front of Judge Peter Felice, they were deleted, weren't they?
As far as I know, they were still on there.
You grabbed her camera
Yes.
away from her outside, did you not?
Yes.
From that point until you were in front of Judge Peter Felice, did she ever hold her camera again?
No.
Okay, so you had it the entire time.
Yes.
Didn't Judge Peter Felice talk to you about whether the pictures had been deleted?
He asked for the memory thing so he could delete them.
Él pidió lo de la memoria para poder borrarlos. Milazzo no solo confirmó el argumento del abogado respecto a que los archivos fueron eliminados, sino que además acaba de involucrar a un juez en el mismo delito por el que se le acusa.
You just said that he asked you for the memory card because he wanted to delete the pictures. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. And if he were to testify at some point in time that he absolutely, categorically did not delete those pictures, then would you want to change your answer as to whether you or one of your people did?
I'm going to object. Calls for speculation.
No one had custody of the camera but me.
Okay. Would it have been lawful for you to delete her pictures?
I don't know.
But what do you think? Are you allowed to go over to people's pictures and delete them
No.
without a court order?
No.
All right. That would be a violation of which amendment? Do you know?
No.
Si hasta ahora fue capaz de resistirse, nada pudo hacer al ser cuestionado por su actuación ilegal contra Samantha cuando ésta solicitó un abogado tras ser arrestada. Este fue el último clavo en el ataúd del teniente Milazzo.
What do you do if somebody says they want to talk to a lawyer and you have them in handcuffs?
We allow them to call a lawyer.
Do you keep asking them questions?
Depends on the case.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Tell me the case in which you would continue to ask questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer.
If we're doing an investigation, we're going to ask.
I got you. Okay. Do you know which amendment it is that allows people to demand a lawyer? Do you have any idea?
No.
Have you ever read anybody the Miranda rights?
No.
You've never read anybody their Miranda rights?
No.
Have you ever arrested anybody?
No.
Other than Ms. Berquist?
No.
And you don't know the Miranda rights?
Not offhand, no.
All right. When you arrest somebody, do you have to advise them that they have the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that they have the right to an attorney?
Yes.
Do you have to advise them that if they cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what if somebody says, yes, I want to talk to an attorney? Do you get to keep asking them questions? Or do you have to call a lawyer for them before you want to ask any more questions?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know if you're allowed to keep asking questions of somebody in custody after they ask for a lawyer?
No.
How long have you been employed at Cook County Sheriff's?
27 years.
27 years. I imagine you only became a lieutenant recently?
No.
How long ago did you become a lieutenant?
22 years ago?
You've been a lieutenant for 22 years and you don't know the Miranda rights?
Yes.
El caso sigue abierto, pero esta es una prueba impecable que demuestra lo equivocados que estaban los policías contra Samantha. Si te ha gustado este vídeo, mira este otro.